So it has taken me a while to make this video. Joseph and me are leaving Spelkollektivet, and we've been here for almost 2 years, so this is gonna be a big change in our lives. For over 2 months I've had the idea to make this video about what this place even is, because it might be the place that you need like right now, and I want to tell you about it. What the hell? In a nutshell, Spelkollektivet is a co-living and co-working place in Sweden, or better, the Swedish countryside. It is 2.5 hours away from Copenhagen airport and easily reachable by train. When we came here in October 2017, the house was in a different location. But since September 2018, it is located here in Väckelsång and it has space for up to 50 people. We are around 30 people right now. So why did Joseph and me almost spend 2 years at this place? First, the money. Hands down, if you live in any bigger European city, rent is probably what your money goes to most of the time. Rent at Spelkollektivet changes depending on like how long you stay and like when you come here, but usually I would say it is around 400 euros a month, and this is fairly competitive with like I would say most European cities. But now comes the best part. Everything that you need is included in the rent. What do I mean by that? By everything, I mean everything. You get breakfast in the morning, you get 2 warm meals a day, like somebody cooks food for you. You don't have to spend time cooking, you don't have to spend time shopping, you just have to show up and eat, and it's included in the 400 euro rent. You even get internet, electricity, water. They even buy the toilet paper and the shower gel for you. You can also still buy your own stuff here. You can buy breakfast stuff, you can buy things to cook and cook your own meal. There is a supermarket, but if you wanted to, you can just live here for 400 euros, not pay anything else. Number 2, and like I only have number 1, which is the money because it's so cheap, and number 2. So number 2 is the game devs. I'm gonna make this one really short, but there's just a lot of cool people in the house. Like, I've been here for 2 years. I've seen a lot of people come and go, but there's always been cool people, so if you're gonna meet other game devs and be surrounded by cool people, then come here. So now you are probably wondering, Simone, what does this magical place of wonder look like? And to that I say, let's do a house tour. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do the house tour now. I filmed this 2 months ago. Okay, so this is the outside of the house. And this is the room that you see when you first arrive. Right now it's a bit messy, because we just ordered new furniture. But then to the left. So this is the eating room, without food and without people. And recently it's been getting warmer, so and it's super warm and it's very nice. So hi, this is Simone from the future. Back when I filmed this, we didn't have this place, so now even more people can sit outside. Hooray! But it looks like shit now because it's raining, but believe me, it's super cool and nice when there's sun. So from the eating area to the dishwasher. No, I'm kidding. This is the kitchen, the homie's kitchen. This is our beautiful fridge. And this is mainly where we can just cook breakfast. If you want to cook. Because if you don't, then this is the professional kitchen where they cook the good food. But I'm not allowed in there. Yes. that was only slightly creepy. What else? Oh yeah, the warmest room in the house. Which looks like this at the moment, but it doesn't usually look like this. So this is the infamous pee waterfall, which you already know if you've seen any of the videos that I recorded in here. And this is where we have all of the board games. And yeah, this is also the room where we mostly hang out in the evening and just play and drink. Mostly drink, really. So all of the board games are from the house. I think some are from the homies, but mostly it's from the house. Oh yeah, there's also, now that I'm seeing this, there's D&D sessions every couple of weeks, but it depends on who's in the house at the moment. So right now there's a lot of people that like to play D&D, so there's a lot of D&D going on, but like we had phases where there was no D&D players, so yeah, no D&D. Makes sense! Let us continue. Hello! Alright, hallway number 1 with renovations. So this is the renovated area of the house. It has, I don't know how many rooms, but in all of these doors there's rooms for the homies. And this is the area that is getting renovated. So this will be like a just sitting, chilling, reading area. And yeah, this is the renovation where there's more homie rooms being made. I actually haven't seen these. Sponsored by IKEA. What?
Let's finish the bed.
Yeah. But I have it on video that it's not finished. So should I come later when it's finished? And then film again? Okay.
Yeah, or you can finish it.
Okay. No, I'm not gonna finish it. I have important YouTube work to do. I don't have important YouTube work to do. As you can maybe hear, this is the shower. This is where you get clean, I suppose. Zoom. If we go around this corner. Ta-da! This is the second hallway. Again, these are all homie rooms, but these aren't renovated. Front section here. There's like these 2 rooms are renovated and in the rest there's people living. And I think in this nice and yellow back section there's only like 2 or 3 rooms here there where people are living. Oh yeah, back there is like more rooms. And now we go down to the basement. Just keep working.
Just be normal.
Just act natural. You're doing a very good job.
You don't show any of the trash. Oh yeah.
Where is the trash? I just blur it out.
There. Oh,
so this is the trash. So this is the big office, and now we go to the Joshua office. It's not the Joshua office anymore.
I used to work for a couple of weeks.
So this is the
It's
empty. The empty office.
The empty room, yeah.
Yep, we leave this room. Ta-da! Oh, and this is the quiet office, now with improved sunlight blockage. Bye. This office you probably know the most, because this is where I almost film every game jam ever. So another dark and scary corridor, and it leads into the Netflix room. So this is the room where we have all of the consoles, the big TV, all the sofas, basically for gaming and watching TV. Opposite from the Netflix room we have VR playing room and the VR, I guess, setup room. If we continue down this path. Hello! So this is the second Netflix room. Now we enter the area that is not really renovated as much. And in here we have like an esports room that exactly has room for like 5 people, but none of us use it. And I think there's kids from the town that use it. And opposed to that we have... Hello? So this is the gym. We sometimes use it. This is actually used very often. Ping pong table and gym. Let's go. Welcome to one of the creepy hallways. Like all of these doors on the right are mainly for storage. We barely use this part of the house except... Ta-da! It's so nice and bright. So as you probably guessed, this is the laundry room. We do laundry sometimes. And one really nice addition that I really appreciate is this thing. You kind of know that you're becoming an adult when you get excited about a drying room. But anyway, this is where you can just hang up your stuff and it dries. And if you want it to dry faster, you can, that back there is a fan, you can just turn it on and then it dries really fast. And it's very exciting. This is Joseph and my laundry, by the way. And this is the laundry basket. Has it become apparent that I don't know how to film a house tour video? Oh, by the way, also, sponsored by IKEA. Nah, we're not sponsored. I wish we were. But if we go up here. Stairs, 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 stairs. Oh, stairs, stairs, stairs. If we were to go up here, this is the first floor where more homies live, but I kind of just don't want to go because it's just more closed doors, so it's just not. Which brings us back to this. So yeah, that is basically the house. I think the only thing to do now is just to check if Rasmus has finished that bed. Have you finished the bed?
Yeah.
We just need to see if you assembled it or not. Ta-da! Bed. So now that you've seen the place and heard me talk about the place, you might be intrigued, but you still don't know like what to do here. And I had the same problem before coming here and also before getting more into game dev, that I had no idea what it meant to come here. And basically, if you're only paying 400 euros a month and everything else is taken care of, and you're surrounded by other motivated people, you can really focus on getting into game dev, and it allows you the financial freedom of just, yeah, existing and doing what is fun to you, if that makes sense. To give you guys kind of an insight of what my life has been like here. I also filmed what a typical day in my life at Spelkollektivet looks like. Usually I get up in the morning around 7 or 8 and then head down to the office to spend some time alone. I use those 2 to 3 morning hours before everybody else gets up to focus on drawing, language learning, or listening to audiobooks. Afterwards I start working on either client work, company work, or, like on this day, my private stuff. So yeah, that's mainly the mornings. And food. Food is usually served between 12 and 12:30, and there's always a 2-week plan of what is being cooked. Wow, isn't this super exciting? Today I'm really just updating my social media, updating our social media for Do and I, adding a imprint to my website. So very boring stuff. Even if I were to work on client work, I would just like sit here and draw instead of writing text and formatting text. But this is basically what the afternoons look like. However, this afternoon, one of my housemates decided to have a spontaneous portrait drawing session with Joseph. So we also sometimes spend the evenings just playing video games, playing board games, or just watching Netflix together. There's usually always somebody that wants to watch something, so you're in good company. Good night. And that is pretty much my day. But then again, there's also days where we don't work at all. When Joseph and me came here, this was our time out. Spelkollektivet gave us the freedom to reinvent ourselves and build up a business from the ground without any financial pressure. On top of that, it helped me escape the hamster wheel of working for clients 10 to 14 hours every day. And especially the last year, all that extra time that I've managed to free has helped me grow immensely as an artist. I even had some extra time to learn programming. And visual scripting. So why am I making this video? The truth is, I want Spelkollektivet to continue, and for that it needs new people to be interested and to move into the house. I feel it's a great place to be if you just need a break for just 1 month or even 12 months. Spelkollektivet doesn't really have anything on their website where you can see how life here is, because they just don't have the capacity at the moment to do these things. So I just wanted to show the world what it's like to be here and to live here. And if Spelkollektivet might be what you need right now, and if you're interested, I'll be down in the comments answering all your questions, and let's just talk about it. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Mitzi, no. You know I can't let you in. Bye, Mitzi.
Hi, my name is Genius, and welcome to Spelkollektivet. I'm the proud owner and majority shareholder. I'm here today to give you a lovely tour of this fine establishment. Come on, let's go! This is the North Wing, one of 3 residential areas here. Let's take a look inside one of the rooms. You're supposed to unlock the door.
Isn't not unlocked? I'm sorry.
Saying sorry isn't gonna unlock the f***. Let's take a look inside one of the rooms. It's a bit bland at the moment, but there's plenty of space to make it your own. And would you look at all these rooms? Laundry. Outside, there's plenty of luscious, spacious grounds, nearby forests, and even a fire pit. Let's take a look.
That's great, but come on back. There's more house to see.
Hey, are you coming?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's go.
Did I mention? We're all athletes.
These balls. I forgot about that.
So come on down, stay a while. You're gonna love it here. My name is Binkleton, signing out. So, what do you think? Pretty good, huh? You're fired!
Welcome to Spelkollektivet, a co-working and co-living space for game developers around the world. Our aim is to provide an affordable space to eat, sleep, work, and build connections with other game devs from different backgrounds and experiences. Most residents here work in one of the dedicated co-working spaces. We have the loud office for those looking for a more social working environment, and the quiet offices for a more distraction-free environment. All areas come equipped with high-speed internet, desks, and office chairs, with the added bonus of being around other passionate people while they work on their own projects. And if you prefer, there's plenty of space in your own private bedroom. To help foster a collaborative community, we host a weekly stream, the Spelkollektivet Game Developers Conference, an opportunity to showcase what you've been working on and gain valuable feedback on your projects from developers just like yourself. Even though you might work alone, we're still a big team that always has each other's backs. But let's all remember to take some time to relax, have fun, and enjoy yourself. Spelkollektivet encourages a healthy balance of work and play with a number of dedicated spaces for games, board games, movies, and outside activities to participate with your fellow game devs. Speaking of game devs, let's talk to some.
Just settle in.
All right.
Hi.
Hello.
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 Yeah, hi, I'm Matej Jan.
Hello, I'm Marijke.
I am Megan McCurdy.
I'm Adam.
I'm Anneke.
I'm Michal. I'm Jovi.
I am Belinda.
I am Fio.
I'm a composer from New Zealand.
I'm from Germany and I'm a solo game developer.
I'm from the Philippines and I'm an artist that works in the game industry.
I am an indie game developer.
I'm helping her with her stuff. Also, I help in the house. I'm from Czech Republic and I'm the developer of Lords and Villains.
I'm from Germany and I'm an art director / UI UX designer for Hotel Magnate.
I come from Slovenia and I am a pixel artist and game developer.
I came here to focus on the development of my game and have more free time and be around the community of indie game developers to get some support from my peers.
I was already working alone on my projects and I just wanted to be part of a community and be part of a group of people that have similar interests.
I felt a little bit stagnant back at home. I wasn't getting anywhere or meeting a lot of people in the industry. So I just took the plunge.
We both thought about, hey, let's make a trip just where we can do programming. At this time, we didn't know that Spelkollektivet existed. And it was a really nice coincidence that we found this place and could just work on software.
I wanted to experience what life was like living abroad. The idea of living together with other passionate game developers was really interesting to me.
I miss how my life was working from an office when I had a normal game development job, but I still want to work on my game, and so being here is the best of both worlds. I can work on my game and be in an office with other game developers, and it's even better because we also live together and it's really nice to have like-minded people around you.
I came here because a friend of mine, Annika, she went here before and she told me about this place and was like, "You're sure this is real? Are they not selling you organs or something?" Like, no, it's real. It's really awesome. And then I decided, damn, I'm gonna come here. It's gonna be fucking awesome. And it is.
One of the most surprising to me was how good the food is. And it has great variety, so we have normal and vegetarian options. And I actually became vegetarian while being here because I was thinking about it already before, but I'm too lazy to prepare it, and here somebody does it for you, and it's...
The community is amazing. Here are so many people with totally different experiences, and you can learn from every single one of them something special.
The people, I think. I wasn't expecting to make so many great friendships here, and along with working with those friends, it's been really cool.
I like a lot of things, and it's very hard for me to pick one that would stand out the most. I think above everything it would be the people that I'm surrounded with, because I think they are very like-minded and very accepting and supportive. So I feel like home here, and that's what I like the most about this place.
For more information, check out our website for the latest prices and details, or join us on Discord where you can ask more questions from us directly.
TV. All right, hello and welcome all non-essential workers to SGDC. Woo! Boom. Today we have a lot of people, and therefore I would like to remind everyone it's 5 minutes. I will try to remember to put on the timer. If you hear the timer go off, wrap it up as fast as possible, basically. All right? All right. Questions? No? Then we'll take next speaker. Brian. Woo!
Hello everyone, it's been a while since I presented anything, and usually what I do is I play some music and I dance a little, because there's not much to do when the music's playing. Let's see, where am I? Oh yeah, down here. Cool. The piece of music I'm going to show today is a kind of a test music composition for a company, kind of a fantasy inspired by Nordic-esque influences and Asian influences as well. So it was just trying to capture the general tone of that. So I'll put that on and mute the mic. So that's the piece of music that I wrote for the test. I wrote that over a few evenings, a couple of hours at a time. I'm not sure if it will end up getting me the job, but you know, I'm quite happy with what I put together within those few days. And I would like to develop it more, I think, regardless. Yeah. Any questions at all? Raven?
What kind of, did you get like a prompt for this? Like quite a bit?
There was a reasonably detailed brief with some concept art and some backgrounds of what the whole thing was about, and yeah, and just some kind of audio descriptors as well as to general kind of tone or the way that the people are, you know, that's music is meant to be representing. So yeah. Marco, did you still have a question, or? I mean, silly comments are welcome if they're brief. I didn't dance. I swayed slightly at times. I don't know, it didn't really feel like a song to dance like a lot to. Anybody else? Okay, thank you.
Next up, Tobias. Hey, it's me, Toby. I'm here for the second time. Last time we were here, I completely missed to do that, and I wanted all the time to say something about what I most of the time did in my university. As some of you might know, I did a PhD in AI kind of topic, and today I'm just going to try to give a quick introduction on what it is, because it's quite usable for AI in games also. It's called Monte Carlo tree search, and I want to give a quick introduction to this. Here we've got a little example problem, which is Space Invaders, right? You've got a little player here, you can shoot, you can move left and right. Yeah, left, right, and fire. Then you need to wait one frame. The player, for a human, that's quite easy to do. And then you get a new state. So a new picture, maybe a new score, maybe you've lost the game or not. And you do repeat this until the game is over, right? And just imagine that the algorithm, or you as the program, the coder, you can simulate moves. So in some kind of chess fashion, you can think like, oh, what happens if I do this move and then this move and so on. So you can get an idea what will happen in the future when I do this or that. That's like what the example or the problems that you've got is. And then we get some kind of action state like an idea of like what is in the future. Right now we're in this game state, then we might do the action shoot, then we're in a new state, then we choose to go right and go to a new state and so on. That is gonna use in a few slides. So the core problem is why do we need MCTS, or why is it interesting to use? Usually games like chess are too big to just use search algorithms like breadth first or depth first search. You won't be able to enumerate all the game states, so you need something that is a bit more clever and is able to like maybe go in those directions that sound interesting and leave the others. You do not really need any domain-specific knowledge. Like you don't really need to code knowledge of like how should a agent play Space Invaders. So you don't need knowledge, and you only have a very limited understanding of a game state. So looking here, you do have an idea of what that is, but just imagine you looking at a board stem of Go or any other complex game you don't have a clue of. You just see black and white pieces and you've got no idea, but you might get the information of like the game state is like you won the game or you lost the game. You might get a score or something. And also very hard is a delayed reward. So if you choose to shoot in frame 10, frame 11 doesn't give you a big reward because you've shot someone, but this shoot needs to fly up for a decent amount of frames, and then you suddenly get like, wow, that was a good action, and you get 10 points, but in fact, the reason why you get this 10 points was like 20 frames ago when you did the shooting in the right spot. So it's hard to say like, oh, the reward, or I did win the game now because of that move. No, you probably did win the game because of like a chain of good moves that you did. Yeah, that is what I just said. So the core idea, or how to think of problems like here, is you need to identify the best of multiple options, like moving left, moving right, and shooting up in a sequential kind of manner. You can do the replay or thinking like what will happen in the future at some kind of cost. For example, CPU time, maybe you're limited to 20 milliseconds or something for a turn. And maybe the game is stochastic, so maybe you've got an enemy like in chess or something. And the idea, you try and
average results for an action. You choose the action left and try it out a few times, choose action right, try it out a few times, and then you know like which action is better. You can do that by, for example, if you go the action left, you can just do random movements afterwards and action right and random movement afterwards. If you repeat this 1,000 of times for each of those actions, you get some kind of clue. But MCTS is a bit more clever than that. So we create a tree state of games. So here's Tic-Tac-Toe. Just let's follow the path to the left where we put the X on the top center position. Now the enemy can choose to put an O here or here. And let's go with this path. We have only one action left, which is putting our X here, and this is one game state. So from this here, we can like create a tree of game states, and we can... That's the time? That's 5 minutes, huh? So, yeah. Each game state here has some kind of idea. You can get an idea of like the tree grows after some time. You get some idea of how good an action, a playthrough is. You try to store some information, and you try to go this path, which is the best average reward and the best exploration bonus, which is some kind of uncertainty. If I did only play it 1 or 2 times, it is, we don't need this. Thanks, that's it. And that's an example playthrough of a agent doing some kind of Space Invader game. Yeah.
It's very ambitious to try to take this all in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
In this case, this is a good example of where you might want to ask if people are interested, and then do it as a proper lecture type of thing instead. And usually we used to have that here at the end of all the other talks. Then you could have like 20 minutes. I'm gonna talk about this. That way, people, if they're not interested in AI, they could leave instead of hanging out for the whole 20 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would suggest that anyone who wants to know more about this, maybe in depth, ask if Tobias is willing to do that more in depth later.
Yeah, right, sure. So in case some of you are interested, feel free to.
Partially interested, but also just wondering. So the goal here that you were trying to solve was essentially simulating what a player might do, or simulating how to win the game?
Having a good AI to play a game. For example, the best chess AIs nowadays use this together with a neural network to reach better than human performance in playing chess. So it's mostly of like maybe AIs that try to play against the player and be very good in it. Yeah. But you can use it for any other things where you don't really have a clue, but you've got this kind of setup and you just want to have a decent solution for the problem. Yeah.
Can the questers use it for their platform fighter?
Yeah, probably. You need to have some kind of forward model like this. You need to know what will happen if I do this action. That's usually quite hard, especially if you use some kind of physics engine, as you need to like simulate a move and then roll back to that state, simulate another move, roll back. And with things like tic-tac-toe or chess, it's probably far more easy. Yeah. I think it's an interesting concept to learn how maybe things like AI, it's hard to tell this is AI, but people call depth first search AI sometimes, right? If they don't know what it is, they might think it's AI, but yeah. I like the idea. Yeah.
You said you were studying this for your PhD, like was it part of your dissertation?
Yeah.
What were you trying to like explore?
My idea is like usually you've got some kind of numerical feedback. For example, also in chess, you try to map a game state to a number and say like the better white is, the further this position is on 1 towards 1, the better black is, the further it goes down. And my idea was to go away with numerical rewards and go with ordinal rewards. So you only have some kind of ordering, you know, like this state is better than that state, but you don't know by how much. You just know that it is the case, because that's far more easy for a human being to make. So if I give you 10 chess states, if you're somehow proficient in chess, you're probably able to say like, I would prefer to be white in this, and then just do an ordering. Putting a number there often implies things like, is this state like 5 times better compared to this state than this state? And these are things the math internally very much uses, and it's often things the human non-expert that needs to design some kind of rewards really has a hard time doing. Yeah, okay, thanks. Let's see if anything is working today. Ooh, this was open. There we go. Hello, I'm Matej. I am working on a game called Pixel Art Academy. Sometimes I forget to say that. This is my game. It's a text adventure for the most part because it's very quick to create locations. Oh, I should show this. So for example, if we go southwest, there's James here. I don't know if you see here. There's James. Yeah, I will. Oh, there we go. That's better. James walks around feverishly and doesn't pay attention to you. James says, I mean, a voxel is basically a pixel with an extra dimension. What do we get if we add one more dimension? Ow, my head hurts. Asha, why am I reading this? You're saying this. Anyway, so it's a text adventure, but eventually I want to make it into a point-and-click adventure. There is some art in it. For example, here, not only there's James, you can talk to me. There's me. Okay. But yeah, there are about in 2019 when I joined Spelkollektivet, I started working on a graphics engine because I wanted to have a part of the game where you meet other students. By the way, the game is about getting accepted into art school and then eventually going into art school. So here you meet other people that are also trying to go, and so I wanted to see other people's avatars, and so I wanted to have this sort of I wanted to see other people, so I started working on the graphics engine. This is one of the locations for it, and it has dynamic lighting and everything because yeah, the way it's drawn in 2D, but then it creates a 3D model. I talked about it last time a little bit. Here's my editor for drawing this kind of stuff, where this is this location. And then at the end of it, at the end of 2019, when I released this version, I wanted to do more locations. And one of the locations is when your character wakes up in their apartment. So I was starting to do this bedroom. And this location here is kind of okay. But this one is like, it's very hard to read what's going on. A lot of it is because I was very particular that things need to be restricted to the color palette. So first of all, this was completely like this, and then I added that I can have different shades, but then you can kind of see what's going on, but not really. Like now you can get a better idea if I move the camera a little bit. But yeah, as soon as you start drawing shadows, you just kind of can't really understand. Kind of like it reads very bad. So what I at that time started doing, which is now a 3-year project, I don't know, is I wanted to put global illumination in there. And so here was my first attempt. This is all done 2020 maybe. So this was my first attempt that it starts rendering global illumination. And it just looks ugly, it's very slow, but it was something. And I was working on this, I developed some tech, and then I started running the indie quest, and then I didn't have any more time to work on it. Fast forward 1.5 years, so I'm back at this problem, but this is my original motivation, was trying to make this location more readable. And so, so I needed a faster way, because the problem with this is also, I can't really change, if I change the lighting, like before this will start updating differently, it'll just take a shit ton of time, and you can kind of see how it's updating, but it's not real time, far from it. And in the meantime, Unreal Engine 5 came out, and this looks shit. So here is my new engine. I was working on a new material. I was showing it over time. Yes, let's see. I'm gonna reload this one just to make sure, because in the meantime, I was restarting the server downstairs. I was trying to get some new updates in.
Maybe I broke everything and I don't have anything to show. We'll see. Let's see if it opens up. Oh, this is not good. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hopefully, we'll see. So anyway, so I can see my sky dome now. It's probably because it's light. If I zoom, can I zoom out? Probably. Let's get a sunset going. So yeah, I have a dynamic skybox. Oh, am I in an indirect scene now? Anyway, yeah, so I have this dynamic skybox. You can see the sun there, blah, blah, blah. And so, but right now in this mode, things are still restricted to the color palette, right? So it's still kind of hard to figure out what's happening. So this time now I can, first of all, not restrict to shades, which is what I already had previously. And now I can also not be restricted to the color ramps at all. And so here you see the new, like you can actually see the sky and stuff based on the sky dome. And the current integration I'm doing, I'm trying to build in the light map as well. And this is my last thing I'm going to show. It doesn't work correct yet, but at least it's going to be sort of way faster than previously. So I just wanted to sort of converge to one version like this in like a second or a couple. So it needs some optimization, but and at this point it's already good. Like I'm happy to have this sort of very smooth gradual transitions. And eventually also, right now probably not that much, but eventually when you change the lighting, it will also then quite quicker update and converge. So yeah, that's kind of my current state. I need to optimize this and hopefully it will run even smoother and more real time. I'll have to show it next time. All right. Any questions? Yes, Raymond?
So is your intention to have people online move around in that classroom?
Yeah, this, for example, this location is where there will be a bed here. So it'll be pretty much like this. Your character will wake up out of here. Like they will wake up here. This will be a mirror. I also have to add this in. And then they will go downstairs. And then downstairs is the next location that I'm working on. I've also been showing this a little bit, I think, maybe. So yeah, basically all of this. The point is I didn't want to do 2D images because then you have to have manual layer sorting and stuff. You have to scale the characters. If I do things in 3D, all of these things automatically work. So here's where you come down the stairs, for example. I think it's a little bit underexposed, yeah. So this was the top, and then your character comes down, and yeah, you can walk around. And yes, Sam.
When, where, and how can I try 3D Paint myself?
Where can you try 3D Paint?
Yep.
This software? Right now, it's impossible. I mean, you can talk to me, and I can show you a demo. It's not very usable. While I answer this question, I guess I can go onto YouTube/. Yeah, it's very particular. You really need to know how to use it to draw stuff. This is kind of how the process looks like when you're drawing something. It's really sort of, I would say, unstable. So right now there's no public version, but eventually when I have something that is a little bit more, at least stable, if not user-friendly, it's going to be available for my patrons on Patreon. I can let you know when that happens. All right. Oh, James has one.
So you're saying I'm sharing my bedroom with everyone else in the game?
No. The way the game handles which locations are private or not. And so the private locations, basically everyone has their own, I guess, instance in MMO terms, right? Or no, yeah. How would you say, yeah, when you go into dungeons and everyone gets their own instance? Yeah. So I do have that capability. So yeah, because at one point I didn't, and then there's just random people appearing in your room as they log into the game, which is not a pleasant experience. All right, thank you very much. I think this is all my stuff, so bloop.
Next up, Remy the second.
Hello. here, yeah. Yeah. I was sure. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You don't have PowerPoint.
Yeah. No worry. It's my first time here, so I made a little presentation of me, but it didn't work as expected. So I came here the two weeks ago, I think, yeah. And for now, it's a nice place. I love it. I'm French. I am mostly a web developer, and since 1 year ago, I'm interested by game development. So I learn game development and game design slowly. I make some basic games like Space Invader. I made also a memory card. You have card and you need to switch and figure out where is the right card with the picture. It's a little easier with the image, but yeah. And currently I'm working on a serious game on the energy and global warming. I'm working with a chercheur of energy, chercheur. And for now we have basically the backend because it's a web app. It's not on Unity or Unreal. It's mostly in JavaScript. So it's a language for the web. And we have almost the back, but not the front. So yeah. I want to come here because I would know a place like that. I was curious about how it can be work. I don't believe it at the first when Arthur talk about it, and I think in my head I think I say James is crazy. Yeah, it can be possible. Yeah, hard now. I'm here. You are not crazy. You are a visionary, and well done. And that's it. Any question? No?
Can you tell me more about what I am? It felt so good. Just kidding.
Yeah, okay. No question? Yeah?
Can you maybe move your slides to like Google Slides or something and share it in the Discord later so we can see?
Yeah. I can do it. Yeah. I thought PowerPoint was present on the computer, but no. So yeah. Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Use Google presentation next time.
Yeah, thanks for the advice. Yeah, but I don't love Google Suite, so yeah.
You can export it to PDF and then show it.
Yeah, but I made some animation on the PowerPoint, so I want to. Yeah, I love animation on PowerPoint. Yeah.
Export to GIF. Yeah, render it into a video.
Oh my gosh.
Render it into a video and then press space to
Yeah.
the slides.
When I export the PowerPoint, I almost did to export in video, but I say, oh no, PowerPoint is better. Yeah. Next time, yeah. Any other question? No? Thanks.
Okay, next up is Andreas.
All right.
I think Arthur is in the sharing your own.
Yeah. And talking with
I've had very little sleep, and I planned my time incorrectly. So every SGDC, I am frantically typing away in the background as we start. I'm sorry. I will try and be better. I might not make sense. We'll see. Just forgive me. My little what's that called? Intro slide that you've seen before. This is just to remind you what the game is, because we're so many people now. Animation. Yes, this is why I've been a little bit overworked. And a better person than me would just quickly make a deck editor, I don't know, in an afternoon, and it will work. I spent a week, I think. I don't know why, and I think I started over 3 times. Anyway, I think I'm done for now, so I wanted to show you guys. And I'm impressed with myself or the deck editors. So, this is from last week. I'm not gonna do this, we only have 5 minutes, but they're pretty great. So, I'll just jump into playing the game a little bit. That's basically how I will show you. Right, so the crafting screen, I don't think we've been here for a while. And again, there's no time to explain how crafting works. That was in a previous presentation. But basically you have 2 types of ingredients for now. It's these generics that are just sort of like trash that you put in a bag, so there's many little things in there. They have various values for the elements, the 2 main elements, the destruction and the serenity. So you just throw a bunch of them in the pot. Maybe I'll add extra powerful mushroom thing. Oh yeah, that's from Super Mario, I just realized. And you get a card. But this relates to the deck editor in this way. Here are this is your starter collection for at this moment. So here you can say like a deck editor basically. Yeah, I can say the deck I'm bringing out next time is gonna be like so or something. Great, but this tab only have this new card I created. It has the little showing how many uses it has. So this is consumable with just 1 use. Might not be impressive. So I'll show you, just make something else. And I'll put a green one in. That's for, it's called plethora, or growth would be a less fancy word. And it will give us this, and it's got many more uses. That's the green one. Basically, it's like adding growth, i.e. it's gonna last for longer. And then as I said, I can edit this. There's gonna be a, what's it called, a cap for the various types. The permanents are not gonna be as powerful, of course. You can bring some of these, but there's gonna be a cap for it. I'm gonna allow a lot more consumables just to give the player actually some chance of affecting the gameplay. Maybe they're gonna bring a lot of weaker ones to affect how the deck, when you draw, that you're gonna get a little bit more time between the dangerous cards. I don't know. That'll be fun. That'll be actual game design, which I haven't done in a while. And here, this is just some debug stuff that my testers might appreciate, just showing you what to expect and a little bit how the system works. I'm not going to go into that today either. And just to remind you then that, yeah, I didn't expect to get this far. I thought I was going to run out of time. But basically, so the consumables are mixed in now. They might appear, but oh yeah, the whole point of the core loop, that's what I was trying to get these last few weeks. So you go back out and you bring in more of these materials, and you bring them back and you make more consumables, and then you just keep going. And the more you craft, the further into this forest you can get, and you get cooler stuff that you haven't seen before further in. So it'll be a rewarding loop that might be recognizable from a lot of games. Oh yeah. So just one more thing. That's it. Thank you. Oh, sorry. I forget it every time. Matej, questions?
Yeah. Can you remind us, are you still doing this in Godot?
Yes.
Because I remember the previous game you were doing, you were always showing it from the browser, and now you're showing it from the desktop. Is this just so it runs faster, and will it be able to run in the browser at the end of this?
Yes and yes.
Thank you.
I hope. Okay, thanks.
For future speakers, please close down your stuff.
Oh, sorry.
For the next person. Next up is Isa.
Yep. Today I'm showing you again the progress in Magical Harvest. 2 weeks ago I showed you the decoration system in our farmhouse here. And for today I'm showing you the decoration system from for the outside of the farm. It's a bit brighter. So my goal was to adapt my previous decoration system for controller support, which is also currently working. So everything I'm doing here now with the mouse or with the keyboard, I can also do with the controller. So yep, I can decorate basically my farm with different stuff. And I also added some effects for putting stuff onto the grid here. So like this chest and so on. The special thing about our grid system in Magical Harvest is that we have different types of objects. So you could see here with the path, I used basically one whole grid for one path. And here with the fences, I have edge objects that I can place on the side of these grids basically. So the player can decorate the farm more individual and with more stuff basically. And also we have corner objects, so in each of these fields we can add 4 of these corner objects, so it's also more viable to decorate a farm. So these are also just dummy objects for now to test. And where's my well? Oh, here is it. And I can also interact with the objects here. So like with this well, I can fill my, oops, not this. Oh, it's not working here. Interesting. I'm on the chest, yeah, okay. Okay, this is not working correctly for now. But yeah, I can use the chest. And also when I'm deleting the chest now, for example, the chest, the items that I put it in the chest are coming back in my inventory. And the last time it was a request, which I found was very nice, is if I can redo actions. So like if I'm deleting all the stuff, yes, I can redo this deleting thing currently. So I can delete every step in the process. Oh, no, I killed it. No. And yeah, so I'm finally done with the whole decoration thing. It has some issues currently, but the base is finally done and I'm very happy about it because my motivation were pretty meh this week. So yeah, I will stop working on this for now. So I started working on 3D models for the first farm crops. So we have here our cabbage with 5 states, so 5 growing states. And there are 3 types, so for the, let's say the wild form, which is not magical, then the normal form, and then the first magical one. So we will have 5 different types for each crop. Currently I'm creating just 3 of each because for our showcase version we want to start with 3 and not with 5. And also the textures are just dummy textures for now, at least for the cabbage. I just wanted to do the 3D models. And here we have the spinach as well and carrots. And yesterday and today I worked on trees because I want a more unique style of trees. Hey, where are my trees? Wait, let's find trees. Ah, here. So yeah, I create them like in this style. I think it's a bit more unique and not like the normal kind of bushes like here. These are some placeholder assets. So I guess we will continue with this kind of style at least. So we have here for the spring, then here summer and the different grow phases from small to basically adult. Autumn and winter, and here I tested some other textures for the leaves. So here we have cherry blossoms and some kind of fantasy, I don't know what it is, tree. Yeah, so this is for the progress in the game. And also we have some more concept art. We started assigning out our races. So one of the races is are the Trackers, or Trackers. They are dragon based, so this will be a race that is basically the descendants of dragons. And we have the Nereids. There are ocean based race, and yeah. And for the next thing, I want to add fishing, because in every farming game has to be fishing. And I hate fishing in every game. So it will be a hard work to concept a fishing game that is nice, because I'm not a good person to decide what is nice in relating to fishing.
So if anyone has a slight idea for a fishing minigame, please.
Yep, write us. Write us what you like about fishing games in games, because I don't like fishing at all. Yeah, any questions? Oh my god, okay. Ray?
Hello, I had an annoying request last time and I have another one now. Can you drag and place roads or things like that? So if you click down and you drag over your map, can you continuously place like a road or fences?
So the question was if I can drag and drop basically the paths or the roads. No, you can't. It's also not no, it's not planned to do that, because you have to work for it a bit. I'm just too lazy. I'm done with the decoration thing. No. Yeah. Next person, Matej.
Yeah, this sort of builds on top of his, so it's perfect timing. But because I really like that a lot of these kind of games are even more tedious. Like you actually have to get an item out of the inventory, you have to be at the correct location when you place it. But it seems you are going with more like the Sims approach. So is this how it's gonna be, and you can just go into build and then you can just build wherever you want on the map?
Yeah, I liked it more with a basically the decoration overview. Because I'm always annoyed by, you have to walk to this position and put the thing there, and it takes so much time, so I like this approach more, which is also a bit more unique in the farming game then. Yeah. James?
But still, you don't want. And Mareke wrote that she loves fishing games, and you should talk to her.
Okay. I will talk to Mareke, yeah. Again?
Make a comment, it looks awesome.
Thank you. Other questions? Yeah.
As somebody who worked with a team who were supposed to make a fishing game, mini game, if you would like more a voice line in case you actually don't make one, just ask.
Okay. Other questions, comments, concerns? Okay, then thank you.
Next up, Jihe! Was it Jihe? Did you actually find it?
Yeah, I covered my name. Okay. Hi, I'm Jihe. Like, G, hey.
So I was born, this is just an intro of like who I am and what I'm doing here, just for the people that don't know me. I was born in South Korea in a city called Suwon, which is slightly out of Seoul. When I was 7, I moved to the US and grew up mostly in Minnesota, which is the Canada of the US. I went to school across the border in Wisconsin and studied international business and finance and music because I play violin. So how did I get into games? So after school, I was just like working a normal business job, and I felt like something was missing in my life. So I quit, did some soul searching, and during that time I was tutoring. And long story short, one of the students helped me realize that video games are one of the most powerful platforms to introduce and inject new concepts, ideas, or information into people's long-term memory, because they're thrown into this new environment with new rules, and they have to interact, and hopefully they're having fun, so everything that they do they remember. And I thought, wow, I really want to like harness this power to help spread some knowledge. So in order to do this, I actually went to a programming boot camp to learn how to program, and started saving up money to hopefully do this in the future. So for 2 years, I worked as a software engineer at an ed tech company called Watermark in New York. And then I went farther east to Munich, Germany, and worked as a game developer at a studio called Mega Zebra, where I was porting this Flash Mahjong tile matching game into mobile. And then towards the end of 2020, I felt like I had enough savings and experience to make the jump. So I moved to Spelkollektivet. I was here last time from November 2020 till May, so 7 months. And a side plug, I also joined Spell for Poznan in October, where a bunch of the devs from the house showcased their games to the Polish community, which was cool. So you guys are aware. But yeah, what am I working on? My project is called Island Name Here, and it's a puzzle adventure where you play as the game developer. So in order to progress in the story, you have to make the unit test pass. And in order to make the unit test pass, you have to match the conditions by editing properties of objects in the game. So the mission, of course, it has to be a fun game, but also I want to introduce basic concepts and problems that game devs solve on a daily basis to the players. I made a studio, Spicy Rice Cake Studio, because I love spicy rice cake, and I got this sweatshirt as a Christmas present for my boyfriend. And this is what the game looked like in May when I left Spell last time. This is kind of like what it looks like now. My goal I'm staying here for 6 months and hopefully longer if I can extend. My goal is to just crank out as much content as I can, because I would really love to release this by the end of the year, because I'm tired of living without an income. And yeah, if I go to the Steam page, I can show a little bit more. So for example, you can like change the position of objects, you can scale them. Another thing you can do is like edit the vertices of a mesh, so you can change the shape of the island. You can make like 2D art, and like all the properties that you edit will have consequences. So hopefully you can pass or fail the unit tests. And I guess the theme is like art, music programming, and design made by a solo developer, but also additional art, music programming, and design made by the player. How do I go back to the slides? Okay, so yeah, it has, the game has an Instagram and Twitter page, and my goal has really, especially while I was away from Spell, to post a progress update every Wednesday. So I've been keeping up with that. So if you'd like to keep along, please join. And last but not least, when I left Spell last time, I had 2 big regrets. I was kind of talking to Christopher as I was leaving. The first one was during my 7 months here, I only presented at SGDC 4 times. And I think it was because I was ashamed of how slowly I was progressing in my project. But in hindsight, if I presented more, I probably would have made more progress. So this time around, I really want to try to present as much as possible. Even if I make like a tiny little progress, it'll be a shorter presentation and everyone will be happier. And the second thing is, especially coming from like a programming background, it's easy to get imposter syndrome, and I have a hard time verbalizing tech stuff. So I kind of shied away from like helping out any other developers. But like, we're all here for one reason, right? And we all have the same passion and mission. So if you ever need a second opinion on like a bug fix or system design or implementing a feature, feel free to message me. And I'm using Unity, Blender, and Entitas as the framework. But if you're using something else, I can always be a rubber duck. So yeah, that's me. Thanks. Any questions? Mate.
I have another question.
Can we use this at the Indie Quest and when?
This?
No, your game. To
My-
show people how feeling
right now, I'm trying to. I made a lot of changes since the demo at Poznan, so a lot of things are broken, and they're the demo was just very, very basic, so I don't think it'll be useful at IndieQuest now. But once the game's released, or hopefully a better demo comes along, hopefully yes, it'll be helpful. Yeah.
I'll buy it for the school.
I think it's more geared towards like people that haven't had game dev experience at all and are like, oh, if I ever want to make a game and I open Unity, I kind of know what these things do. But the good thing is at Poznan someone asked me if it was an editor, which was like cool.
It's perfect. We have a lot of questions that start from zero. Also, before James buys it, raise the price to $100.
Okay. Any other questions? Cool, thanks.
Someone's generous with my money. Next up, Joanna.
There we go. And
I'll check if you're actually visible.
yeah, I'm waiting for that.
Still the one?
Okay, I'm Johanna and I have been making portals for the last 2 months at least. And now I am considering them done. Because now the camera can't escape. If you are walking through the portal, the camera can't go to the side, so you always see the player through the portal. So it also, like if I don't touch the mouse and go to the sides, it rotates along with me and stays within this frame and goes with the player through the portal. It still has issues, but I feel like I have learned enough from the portals and that I want to move on to something else. So these are the portals, and I also made working big ones over here. It didn't work with just scaling up the portal, then the camera was, oh whoa. They are not perfect. But yeah, they at least sort of work. They can also restrict the camera to wait, now I might have I can't rotate outside the frame, but yeah, they are big, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, I also made these things see through, the big things. Yeah, so yeah, all of this works, at least good enough, so I'm happy with it. For making these last parts working, I have been using a lot of gizmos to draw in the editor to debug stuff. So for detecting if there is something between the player and the camera, I have been casting rays, and I have been drawing them in the editor here to to see what I'm doing. And I've also been keeping track of the camera with the box, and because the player and the camera, they are two different objects. I have the main camera up here in the hierarchy, and then the player character with a camera pivot, and then the main camera follows a dummy camera that the player has. Yeah, and then for the portals, to debug them and to show what I'm doing, I've been drawing this blue frame in the screen that is a forcing frame that was keeping the camera inside. And to make them work, they are a polygon collider 2D, so they did not work in a 3D environment, so I had to put them at 0, 0, 0 in the world, and raycast in world space on the right plane. So it was kind of tricky to make it work, but I'm very happy that me and Matej made it work, and that's why I'm showing it. It was quite complicated and fun. It was a lot of math, and here is how I'm raycasting from the position where the camera is supposed to be to a top where it's looking above the player. And the yellow cube, it also works to go backwards into the portal. Then it also starts restricting the camera based on the portal on the other side. But yeah, there is a yellow cube that tells where the camera is forced to, and there was a red cube that told where it tried to go. And then I made class diagrams for it. And this is the new one. This is the one I had before I started. When I was just planning out everything, I planned for two scripts, one for Portal Traveler and one for Portal to handle the portals, and a Portal Traveler would be able to handle anything that wants to go through the portal. And this is how it ended up when I was done. It got quite a lot more complex, but yeah, that was fun. I learned a lot. Yeah, I can't explain all of that. I also wanted to, since I have time, still have about a minute, show the first time I showed the portals on SGDC. This is the project from then. Here it's, I've just sort of made it work to go through sometimes. Most of the times it doesn't work. Now I'm not getting back here. Then I will just go through as many of these as I can in the last 30 seconds. I will probably not have time for that many. But here already, a week later, I was showing the destination of the portal, and I still teleported instantly when I went through, but now it worked most of the time, almost always, except when that happened. And then the week after that, it was a bit more stable, and now I'm running out of time. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, so now it worked to not instantly teleport. Still not very pretty, but I could follow through more smoothly. And I guess that's all I have time for. I had 3 more builds, but I don't have time to show them. Questions? Raymond.
Can you show the remaining 3?
Yeah. I can do it while answering more questions. And yes, yeah. Isa.
What are you planning next?
I'm not sure. I will not continue on my tech demo project. Instead, I will probably start a new project. It's free. Yes.
Based on this answer, will you use your knowledge from the tech demos? Will you use the portals, for example, for your new project?
I don't know. My plan is for the next week, when I will be away from here and not in Spelkollektivet. I will be out traveling. I will try to figure out what my next project will be. Yes.
Does that mean that you're done with working now?
No, it doesn't. With this project finished, I'm finishing Programming 2 and Applied Programming 3, but I have Applied Programming 4 in my curriculum. So yeah, I will make another small project. I talked to Matej about that today. And then I have some art classes to finish up. Yeah, so not completely done, but it's two more courses finished today. Yes.
It's not really a question, but I want to congratulate you. I'm very impressed, and it's pretty cool what you managed to do.
Thank you. That's very nice of you. Yeah, I'm very happy with what I've learned through this project, and yeah. And yeah, I felt like I learned a lot, and also was able to figure things out for myself, and to understand when Matej explained things to me, and to at least contribute a bit to solving all the problems. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you. Yeah, that's it.
Next up is Yannick.
Where is the folder with all the SGDC stuff?
It's in quick access.
Network drive.
Where do we get those?
There's a Yannick folder. A little bit up, back, up, there.
Ooh, but that's the last one.
That's the one you get.
I want to take this one, please. Okay, sure. And my beautiful presentation. Alright, so today I will talk about how to make a good game dev TikTok to make you all TikTokers. And the reason why I want to do this is because TikTok is a very nice way to market your games. And I've done this for a year now. I gained a lot of knowledge. I currently make most of my money with TikTok, so I guess I'm kind of a professional. And now I want to share my knowledge. So why would you consider doing this? So first of all, TikTok has 1 billion monthly users, so I guess at least some of them might want to play your games. So you can find a nice audience. In my opinion, it's the best social media platform to reach new people. I tried everything: Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, and TikTok turned out to be the best way to find new people. Also, you show videos, and videos are always way more interesting than pictures and plain text. So, how can you make a video that will be successful and that will actually be shown to people? So, first of all, watch time. That's the most important metric in TikTok videos. If you get a lot of watch time, TikTok will show your videos to more people. If you still have a lot of watch time, it will show it to more people. You don't need a lot of followers. If you have a lot of watch time on your video, it will be shown to thousands or even millions of people. Second most important thing is the engagement rate on your videos, like getting likes, comments, shares, and follows. It's useful to use a trending audio. There are always some audio clips that are used more often, and if you use those, it's more likely that TikTok will show your videos to more people. And last, hashtags seem important, aren't that important, because TikTok will kind of figure out where to put your videos anyways, but use the right hashtags. It's always helpful. So since watch time is the most important metric, I will talk a little bit about how to increase the watch time. So first, and the most important part, is start with a good intro or a good hook to get the viewers engaged. You have 2 seconds, maybe 5. If you don't have a nice message, something nice to show, people will swipe your video away, and it won't be shown to more people. So start with a bang and show the people why they might want to watch the whole video. Afterwards, it's important to keep it kind of fast-paced. This is how TikTok works. TikTok is a very fast app, and if you slow down too much, most people kind of get bored and click away. So try to keep it interesting, fast-paced. For me, for example, a good way to do it is with every new sentence I talk, I show a new clip. So this way it always keeps interesting. Very important is good audio quality. Nothing is worse than bad audio quality, as you probably all can say by watching a tutorial from some weird Indian guy, and you hate every second, but you need to watch through it. And good audio is very important. And also, you should have one of those or all of those because to make your content interesting. You can have stunning visuals. You can tell interesting stories, or you can teach something to the people, or do all at the same time, which would be perfect. Yeah, humor, always nice to have. And try to keep your videos as short as possible.
For me, it turned out that about 25 seconds is a very good length. I will give some final tips if I have time later, but now I'm gonna show you some videos and show you how I used this to get a successful video. So the first video I want to show you is my best video. It's got 1.5 million views, so it worked out quite well, and I consider myself being able to implement all those tricks. It's a German video, but I added subtitles so you can understand it.
Also habe ich erstmal Blender geöffnet, um ein Glas und einen Stift zu modellieren. Danach habe ich ein neues Unity-Projekt erstellt. Hier kann ich dann einfach meine Modelle reinziehen, denen Physik geben und schon... ja. So, klappt. Als nächstes habe ich ein Skript geschrieben, um den Stift mit einem Mausklick zu werfen. Und damit das Ganze auch ein Spiel wird, kann man die Stärke, mit der man den Stift wirft, aufladen. So, wenn ich treffe, musst du das Video liken und mir folgen. Nice.
So that's my most successful video, where I kind of implemented all of this. So time is up. I sadly can't show you other examples, but
Can you show the other two videos?
Of course. So
I'm updating the code of
this one I found recently worked super well. It has a very nice intro, followed by stunning visuals, and got 5 million views.
After a week of game dev and music composition, I've added a musical combo system to the game.
So this is also a way how a video can look like when it's super nice. It's not that much edited, but since the content is super nice and looks awesome and the sound is awesome, people watch it. And the last example is for slower paced games. You don't have to follow all my rules. This is true for fast games, but if you have like a cozy game, like a building game, you can be more slower. I won't show the whole video, but this is more of a video where he explains stuff. This had, by the way, 500,000 views.
Time for part 2 of implementing a boomerang. Right now the boomerang behaves like this, where it has a constant speed, and it changes direction based on a timer. Instead, I'd like to put in some acceleration and deceleration. I'll make it so the boomerang starts off really fast, flying away from the player, but its speed is constantly decreasing. Once the speed hits 0, I'll change the state so it begins returning towards the player, and at that point the speed will start constantly increasing. By doing this, the transition between the two states looks a lot more seamless and natural, so I really...
Okay, that's basically how this video is. Just to show how different they can be and still be successful. More questions?
Do you have any final tips?
I might have some. No, it's just very short. Just upload your video not only on TikTok, but also use YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reel, because you can just re-upload them and it doesn't cost you more time. You can use trending sounds and turn the volume to 0 if you want to add your own sound. So you still have the benefit of having the sound in the video, but you don't have to use it. And edit your stuff on PC, but upload it from your phone. Because TikTok knows from where you uploaded stuff, and TikTok rewards people who use their app. James.
Can you share how much you earned via TikTok so far?
Yeah, sure. With TikTok itself, not that much. They have a program which works in a way that you get paid for views, but since they don't show ads, it's not ad-based and it's not that much. So with this, currently I'm at 250 euros, but I have an affiliate deal. So I promoting Core, which is a kind of game engine. I have to do 6 videos, and depending on how well they work, I get paid. And I also have an affiliate link, and there I currently earn 600 to 700 euros a month. Isa?
Where can you find these trending sound? Is there a platform to download them? Or?
there's a website that you can use, but you can also go on TikTok, and when you search for sounds, you can sort them, and there's a button which is trending, and then you get the list of the most used sounds. James.
If you want more tips or input, Katie also shared a bunch of tips and tricks about the TikTok, because she's really high on TikTok at the moment as well. So she has a bunch of tips and tricks as well.
So Billy Busta.
Yeah, Billy Busta, Katie. And it's a shame you're not here for long because they're coming back.
Ah! Too bad.
You guys could make TikToks together because she's very big on it as well.
Yeah, if you want to do stuff or have more questions, hit me up. Or if you want to make videos and want to show to me, and I can help to make them better, maybe. Mate?
Can you show the Spelkollektivet TikTok? Do you have it on YouTube? You said you should upload stuff to YouTube as well.
Oh, wait.
If you need help with OnlyFans, you can ask me.
Guess you can find. Oh.
We need a voice.
Yeah.
Successful. Spiderball was super successful, so I took the earnings and bought a house. Entering the house, you first want to see my ginormous lobby. TV, big boxes, board games, and of course my own waterfall. I thought it would be nice to have one. This is my gaming room, VR room, private cinema, gym, and my recording studio. For working, I set up everything in my office. Who the fuck is this guy? Bathroom, 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 bathroom. I have no idea why I have so many bathrooms. Oh, there's another one. Outside you will find my garden, with a trampoline, and obviously my private lake. For my friends and visitors, I've got a bunch of spare rooms, and this is my bedroom. How do you like my house? Is it nice or maybe a little bit too much?
Another fake owner.
So yeah, you're welcome all to my house. It's okay. Great, I guess that's it.
Alright, next up, Hannibal.
Hello everyone. I'll start out by last time we talked a bit about our I think game jam game that we made. So today we're gonna talk about our main project and actually the reason why we're here. So some of you might know that we're in a publishing deal with Spelkollektivet to make a game, and this is the team. It's me and Martin and Konstantin. And Simon is still in Denmark, but we're still working together. And this is the game. So right now it's pixel art. We're kind of changing that up later, but we're making a twin-stick adventure game where you go on a journey by a train, and you fight these skeletons, and at the end then you're gonna fight the necromancer, which created all these skeletons. And we have a video for that. Yes. So the train kind of functioned as the hub for the player. And then it kind of happens in this normal world, but there's rifts in the world where these skeletons come from. So you have to close all the rifts. And you play as this character or some other characters. There's kind of an unlikely team of heroes that need to save the world. And we're kind of going with a very humorous, silly theme, as you might notice. So lots of silly weapons. Yep. You didn't see that. We're finding a new name. We also posted a what was it? A
Competition?
Competition, yeah, on the Discord, and lots of you submitted stuff. But first of all, the thing we kind of started doing to finding a name was like writing down all the main topics or like the themes in our game: trains, skeletons, and like kind of silly stuff. So we wrote down a lot of words and couldn't really come up with anything that was better than what we already had, which is Calcium Chaos. And the reason we didn't like that was it kind of misses the train part of our game. So we made the competition, and lots of people submitted. And Lena sent a link to a very nice devlog she made for her game Death and Taxes, and it was very useful to us for finding a name or choosing a winner for this competition. So stuff like it should be easy to pronounce, not too long, not too short, and unique and easy to Google. So that was what we're focusing on. So, for the reveal, or at least top 3.
Calcium piercer.
So, we have 2 names from Marco and one from Jihei. So, Loco Necronomicon is very funny, and it has all the parts. It has the skeleton theme, the train stuff, and also kind of the loco meaning crazy. So it was a very good name. We really liked it. The problem is it's probably a bit hard for people to spell and remember. So that's a 3rd place. Then we have Rift Chasers. That sounds awesome. That's a really cool name. Do you have stuff to say?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we really liked about it was that we put an S on it, and we want to emphasize that you can play as multiplayer, and putting that S on it, making it sound a little like you were going on a team chasing the rifts. But the problems with it was that it was a little too serious. It sounded like a really cool, serious game with a lot of cool effects. It wasn't as silly as we wanted it to be.
So that's the 2nd place. And actually, Derailed was not that great, because there's already a game called Derailed. Calcium Chaos Derailed. Yes. Now we have the train and the Calcium Chaos, which, when you Google that, we're already pretty high up, so we thought we might as well keep it and then add the Derailed. So, Marco, you can claim your prize whenever you want.
I have it here.
And thank you guys very much for submitting stuff. It really helped a lot. So, yes. Any questions? Isa?
When did you start with the game? Because I thought you would start when you were here, but it looks like that you have already put a lot of work in it.
Yeah, so we started as like with our education, where we had an internship, where we could do an internship in our own company. So we started it there, and that was the middle of last year, and we worked like 3-4 months full time on it. So that's why we have this prototype to show. So we're gonna work more on that. Marco?
I had another silly idea. What if you had like 2 characters named D and A in this game?
Yes. Brian?
You said you were potentially changing from pixel art. What style are you thinking of changing to, and is there a particular reason?
Yeah, we're going with probably a really cartoony style. And mostly it's because we wanted to do a lot of polishing with squish and stretch and smooth animations, rotating objects, and we thought it would both look more impressive and less like crappy unless we hand animated it pixel art. And just because I feel like this new art style we're going for looks different than most of the games we are inspired by also.
Yeah, so it's both to stand out and to make it more, look more clean.
Yeah.
GA?
How do you come up with the weapon ideas?
I mean, we just experiment with a lot of stuff. It's a good question. We just have random thoughts and then we write stuff down. But we thought about in the future we could make like also a new competition for those if we have like a lot of people on Discord.
One of the ways we've done it also is taking all the classical weapons and thinking, what could a sniper be? A sniper could be like a cork from a champagne bottle. A flamethrower could be a lot of soda spraying out of a soda can. A grenade launcher apparently could be a chicken. So we're taking the approach at looking at what we want the weapon to do and then just finding some really weird way to do it.
Ryan?
It's just a follow-up on the weapons thing. I'm probably showing my age here more than anything. There was a game back in the early 90s called Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which was on the SNES and the Genesis, which you're like kids around the neighborhood going around battling off hordes of monsters and stuff, and they had lots of very interesting kind of common weapons like water pistols and soda cans and other things. So it might be worth having a look at that, just as there might be some stuff in there that's interesting or might inspire.
Could you send the name? I already forgot.
Yeah,
thank you.
It's a Konami game, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'll send that to you.
Cool.
It's probably a stealth.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many types of weapons are you now in the game?
I think we're gonna do like 15, 20 different weapons.
And are the characters having like different things that they do, or are they all like the same, using the same kind of weapons?
I mean, every character can use the same types of weapons, but they could have a different like starting weapon or different abilities. But for now, I think we're just gonna go with everyone can use all the weapons. Cool.
Thank you. Next up, Christian.
Right. Hello everyone. My name is Christian. I haven't presented in a while, but I'm working on Lords and Villains with Michal there in the back, Adam, who's past homie of the house, and Andrea is also the artist of the team. And today I'm going to show you some stuff that I've been working on for the past month. It is in the military update, or like military milestone, which is part of a bigger update. But we're soon releasing the clergy update with the church, but this is for the next update that comes after that. And I'm mostly working on the programming side. Michal is doing right now mostly like bug fixing and then also the UI of the game. So some of the functionality exists there, but I cannot really show you this, but I will probably talk about it a bit. So the first thing new I'm going to show you is the Book of the Family. So previously we had the clergy here, which has different orders, and now for the ruling family, which you also call the domain family, we have a new set of like groups for the domain. So you have the ruler, which is the normal ruling family. Then we also have laborers, cooks, stable hands, and day guards, night guards, and soldiers, which will also be expanding later with jailers. And similarly how you would enlist someone to the clergy, you can now also force someone to become a servant of you as the Lord, or enlist them to the military. So we could just take this guy, Jasper here, and we could just say, oh, you should become a servant. Then you have to, Michal have to add some UI text here, and then we get him into here. There he is. So what is this all about, right? What does these? Why do we need these families? So previously, the rule has been doing like a lot of manual labor, which is not really in the theme of it. So we added these 3 new categories, which are the laborers who will deal with like building stuff and moving resources around and dealing with the storefront and grabbing resources. The cooks who will make food. For both the ruler, the servant, and the military, stable hands who will take care of the horses. So by that we have also 2 new zones here, temporary icons, but we have the stable zone, which will have horses, and we have the cottage, which will have all the other animals that you could later buy. So before we only had the villagers be able to buy animals, but now we will also include for the ruling family to do this. We have the military. So military have the day guard, night guard. Night guard just sleeps in the day and does the same thing as the day guard. The day guard is used to guard the village, and we have these the guard posts, which are just the same visual now as the hunting cabin, but they will change. And they just occupy that during the day. If there's a guy here occupying, and he's just caring for the looking out for any animals that would attack a villager or thieves that are running around, which will come in the next milestone. Then we also have the soldiers, and the soldiers you can similar to the clergy, you can say how many people there should be. And we will also have some UI here later that you will decide what type of weapons they should have. And then the king will request soldiers every season after the first year, every year after the first year. So you will have a sort of progression. He will demand more and more soldiers, and you will be able to send them away with some new UI button. So a minute left. I think I would want to show you something, regarding to building. Previously we have all building made by the villagers themselves. Now we are also adding 2 new professions and 2 new zones. The professions are the woodworking and the architects. So they will now take care of building things in the village, and we will have, for example, if you would be building something made out of wood compared to something made out of hay, you'd see that there's a slight difference in the tint, and similarly to if you would do something out of stone. So these are just temporary colors, but if you would let the game run, there will be an order made to these 2 families, which is the carpenter, which will occupy storefront, and you will see that it changes color, which means that the order for this has been purchased, and now this family of the carpenters will deal with building the things. So a lot of labor of building is going to be put to specific families, so the farming family can just look out for doing farming and don't have to care about building their houses if it's not the basic first step, basically. And that's what I have time for. Any questions? Yes, Marco.
You didn't mention, but what about criminals? Why do you need guards?
So the question was, what about criminals? Why do you need guards? So criminals is something that I am currently working on, which will be for the next month, which will be in the same update. So this is just a preset that we have guards who are standing around and guarding the village, both for animals and being on the lookout for criminals. But in the next milestone I'm working on, you will have criminals being able to, a villager can become a criminal if they're unhappy in the village. So they can commit various crimes of like vandalism, murder, or stealing things. Yes.
So, can it be like town full of only criminals?
Question if there can be a town full of criminals. I guess it would be possible if you make everyone unhappy. But yeah, you would need a big jail for that, I guess. Or a lot of guards. James?
If you only have criminals and you get attacked by another army, will your army basically steal everything from the attacking
army? Not sure. Yes.
We could build up a criminal town, and it's a profession for them to steal and rob other towns.
So the idea was that you could make a criminal town, and that would be a profession to steal things from other criminal towns. I think you need to tell these ideas to Michal, and he will say probably no. I get it. All right. Was that all? All right. Thank you very much.
Alright, next up, Belinda.
All right, my presentation will probably be shorter than 5 minutes. So I released a game, Idle Island Chopper Clicker. It's a super simple idle clicker game. My goal with that game was to cut out as much as possible and just have a minimal viable product. What I want to try out with this game, I once read an article that the Google Play Store pushes games that get regular updates. So I have now released a minimal version of the game, and I try to push out small updates every few weeks and build that way slowly an audience. And also, I already got super valuable feedback because, yeah, as a developer, you are blind to a lot of things, and you don't see where things are not really that clear what the player should do. But yeah, so Idle Island Chopper is released. I have also posted the link in the showcase on the Discord, because you don't find it yet on the Play Store. On the Play Store, because it always takes a little bit time until the search really works. If I now just copy the title and search for it, I probably will not find it. Oh, what the? Okay. That's interesting. Didn't work on my phone. But yeah, nice. So there are some screenshots, pretty much everything. You have like a island, and you tap on it, and while tapping on it, you collect different resources. With the different resources, you can craft access. You need access to process to the next biome. You can craft items to get clicks per second, and that helps you to get clicks. And with clicks, you buy skill points. For now, the skill points just give you a small boost on your taps, on the CPS, and something else. Later there will be a skill tree where you can skill different different things. So that's pretty much it. If you don't like idle clicker games, you will hate the game. If you like idle clicker games, try it out, give me feedback, and I will improve it. So that's that. And the second thing, I'm looking for a job. I start slowly looking for a job, and I thought okay, I should have some kind of portfolio or showcase somehow what I have done. And I'm now started setting up my GitHub page a little bit more beautiful, because I don't know if everyone knows, but you can make your GitHub page with a README file. If you use your name as project and the README, your GitHub page will have this README as your profile. So yeah, I added some. Okay, it's dark mode. I I have light mode on my computer, so I see now that some of the icons don't work that well. But yeah, so I did a little overview of what technologies I have worked with, how long I have worked with that technologies. I have linked my apps, so here you can also find my Idle Island Chopper Clicker. If you go to my GitHub profile. And I have added here this GitHub stats, which it shows how many commits I have made, what are my most used languages and stuff. If any one of you also wants to use that stuff or do a profile like that, you can ask me, or you can just go to my page, repositories there, and then just like copy paste. Where is it? Yeah, somewhere you can just copy paste it and use it as your own. So yeah, that's pretty much it. What I had to show for today. Are there any questions? Yes, James. Not yet. I wanted to do that today, and then I got stuck trying to include here the little like thumbnails from itch.io, which didn't work how I wanted it, and then I wasted too much time and I didn't apply there. I plan tomorrow. I procrastinate on that a bit too much. Yeah.
Since I'm still waiting for Stamp Fans,
that
this is the game that Belinda was working previously. I was having a lot of fun playing it on my iPad. Still waiting for an update. So my question is, will there be an iOS version of the Idle Clicker?
Yeah, I plan to push out an iOS version of the Idle Clicker, but my MacBook is broken right now and I need to send it in to get repaired. And yeah, so I have no idea how long this takes. Since I'm also procrastinating on sending my laptop there. It's a Swedish website and yeah. Okay, are there more questions? Okay, thanks a lot.
Next up, Victor.
Yes, let's all stand.
Corner.
Come on, get in.
I'm joining the corner.
There you go.
Corner.
All right, hi. We've been working on or are working on a bootleg platform fighter, and the past 2 weeks we've been working on making a mock-up to get an idea of the art and such. So we started by having Arthur draw up a very crude layout to get an idea of how we want things to look. Then I made a quick layout in 3D to use as a guide to do some actual painting. And then we added some 3D models and sprites. And yeah, this is what it became after adding lights and shit. And yeah, I didn't know how to finish this, so here's a cute rabbit. Questions? Yes, Sam.
How do you do the snow effects?
The snow effects I made in After Effects, making particles and then exporting them in low quality.
So is it like a transparent?
Yes, it's basically an image sequence of a bunch of transparent from a video.
That you painstakingly manually looped.
Yes. Most of the particles here are painstakingly manually looped. Matej.
This is a question for Gustav. Did you use your new Viking instrument?
Yes. The instrument that you're hearing in the background, the thing that goes wah, 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 that shit, that is a tagalharpa, also known as a talharpa, also known as a yuhiko in Finland. It's a cool fucking instrument, not gonna lie. Also, hey. So yeah, it's I spent like 3 hours in the studio the other day just trying to learn how to actually play it, and then I got a solid 30 minutes worth of actual playing out that I then fucked up with a bunch of effects, and then that turned into this, into the audio that's supposed to be over this.
Sounds
So,
very happy.
You generated everything.
Well,
playing the instrument.
No. Any other question? Yes.
Would you mind just quickly going over who did what part?
Yes. So Arthur did. Let's see. All the. Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Oh shit, camera. Yes, so basically the process was, the sketch initially he showed a grayscale to kind of just block out what do we need, what's the general idea of the thing. It was a very quick back and forth process, especially between us two, to kind of figure out the stage a lot with deadline more so than anything. So he sent me then a quick 3D mock-up that I got to paint over to do these pixelated, fake pixelated, whatever you want to call them, elements for the mountains and the stage, a little bit of foreground. Same thing with character. This tall thing person here, Max, he and I had a similar process with the character, where he did some, I did some character design sketches, which are not shown here, but that other tall person and I did a character design together, and then we kind of just painted back and forth with some lines and sketches to get a basic idea of what the character is supposed to look like.
And then for the 3D models, it's him, except for the flag, the sword, and the cart, which is this guy. I think that's how it was, right?
And the X.
The X. Oh yeah, that X. Who's him and this guy? Okay, Gomez and Victor did the 3D modeling.
Yeah, and then I set up the actual scene itself and threw in the lighting and particle shit. Yeah, and Gustav did music.
Yes, and most likely I'm going to be doing the audio also for a lot of the hit sound effects and such lately.
Yes.
Or later on, so audio stuff, y'all.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
You can't use the inhalation thingy like that. It means yes. So any more questions? Yes.
They'll learn eventually.
Next up, Annie.
Hello everyone. I forgot how many people we are at Spelkollektivet. Let's see.
1, 2, 3.
There.
There we go.
Okay. So I want to talk about. So first of all, hi, I'm Annie, and I'm working on the human story. And today I want to talk about some Steam stuff and some of the research I've been doing. But I'll probably run through the Steam slides because I have a little bit more slides. So yeah. First off, lately I got an email that I was accepted to Steam. Congratulations, you're now a Steamworks developer. So I can put up my Steam page soon, and I'm still in the process of working on the marketing material for it. And yeah, I've been coming up with a short description, which is come along on a colorful round trip Okay, I'll do that again. Come along on a colorful round trip through the history of humankind. Find small stories about our human ancestors, unlock new worlds, and progress from hunter-gatherer societies in the Stone Age to complex societies in the Bronze Age. Yeah, and I've been doing some thoughts on tags, which will probably be historical, narrative, hidden object, calm, and casual, maybe casual, I'm not sure yet. Those are the capsule arts that I've been working on. Some of the screenshots of levels. I wanted to show different levels and to show some depth. Yes, I have a release plan. I also worked on improving my logo because I wanted to make it as a shape form for a long time already instead of line art. Yes, and for the second part, wanted to talk a bit about how I've been researching for the game since this game is about a universal history of humankind, and I've been reading a lot about it already before I was making the game, and obviously I've been reading more about it since I've been making the game. And in January I was going to an Airbnb to focus a bit more on it, and yeah, be able to organize my thoughts on it more. So yeah, it's mostly books that I've been like reading. Some of those are like just general grand narratives. Some of those are more how to say, specific towards a discipline or a culture. And then there's also, I mean, you know, the internet, there's lots of documentaries and research papers on there. And for example, I often go like look for a book review, find a great video in it, and if I'm lucky, they also have the research papers linked in the descriptions. And so for a long time, I've just been following down a lot of rabbit holes, and it's a lot of information. So especially in the beginning, I always felt a bit dizzy from it. But yeah, especially lately, I've been organizing my thoughts around it more. I've been writing summaries of the books and the chapters, and I've been putting them into the kind of structure that I need for my game. That's what I've been doing mostly in January, and it helped me a lot to feel more like this. And I mean, to be honest, I'm still going back and forth between those, but yeah, it gets better. Yeah, and I also wrote down some of the goals that I want to achieve with information that I want to show people. Is first of all, I want to like show an evolution of human social structures and worldviews through the ages, which is what I've been interested in mostly. Then, and second, I want to convey a global history that integrates a variety of cultures and multiple disciplines. Like, yeah. So yeah, and this also led me to improve my game design a little bit. What I've had before is that I have different levels or different planets that you can progress through. And within those planets, you would have a progression tree that you can move through, and the planet would change whenever you find an object and a small story, which I am redesigning right now into having more nested information, which is going to look more like this, that there's going to be an overview timeline or an overview planet. And I imagine this to be like the main title screen, and you can scroll through the different planets, and as you are scrolling through, it's turning and it's like slowly changing in time. And when you search through that overview planet and unlock certain stories, you unlock portals or like find worlds within worlds. My idea right now is that the silhouette, like one character, will turn into a silhouette, and you can see the world that they live in, or that they belong to, that you can then go towards and explore. So you will basically have levels within levels. That there's an overview planet of multiple cultures within a specific time period, but then there's like planets that are smaller and show how specific cultures lived. Yeah. And oh wait, yeah, here zones. And the overview planet would probably be, I would probably be redesigning it to look a little bit more towards the geography that's actually how our planet looks like. For several reasons, that's probably too much to go into right now. But the sublevels will look similar to the ones that I've been designing before already. Yes, and then the parts with me wanting to show the social structures as well as the worldviews of people and cultures, I want to convey by having a day cycle and a night cycle. The player can switch between those, and during the day you can explore more of the social structures, political, economical structures, and so forth, and at night more of the cultural practices, stories, artistic lives, religious practices, and so forth. And that's it so far. Are there any questions? Yes.
Will you be including the history of games, like the Royal Standard and other like chess-like board games as they grow in there?
I mean, I am wanting to include like showing artistic life of people, and I would include that, like games in that. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know how many detail or how many examples there will be, but might very well be one or two. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah.
So, kind of piggybacking on that question as well, you are now talking about the Stone Age and the Bronze Age. Those are going to be the eras that you cover, or is that, did I miss?
Like from the Stone Age to the Bronze Age, that's like I will have more levels now. So I will have a level for the Old Stone Age, New Stone Age, Neolithic era, Mesolithic era, and then going towards early Bronze Age and late Bronze Age. And then my plan is to push that up on Steam first, and then add levels afterwards. Yeah.
And those level after will cover the rest of time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. You.
So you will have NFTs in the end of the game. It's art.
Well, if they change to proof of work, then yes.
Why this game? Where the idea came from?
Well, the idea mostly came from me being very interested in, or kind of struggling with trying to understand what's going on in the world, and not really feeling like there's a good reference to like learn more about it. And yeah, just I think I was just wanting to combine my love for, or my curiosity about that topic with a game. And so yeah, it's a bit of a general answer, but yeah, something like that. Cool, thank you.
I know it's almost time for the first time shower? Oh wow.
I mean, it's only been a few years. So yeah, hello. I'm Doril. I work with Godot. I'm kind of part graphic designer, part programmer, part game designer. I bounce between a lot of things. And in recent weeks, months, decades, I've been working on a pathfinding solution for a game project that I'm working on that I'm not going to talk about today. But I will be talking about the pathfinding thing, as I have developed a deep hatred for grids, which includes A-star, which includes navigation meshes. And yeah, let me just quickly find this thing. Blah. There we go. So I've been searching for a solution for path generation that doesn't require me to pre-compute data, generally. I don't want to generate an A-star grid, I don't want to generate a nav mesh, and I want it to be aware of the size of the agent that is trying to navigate and generate this path. And I want a path before I actually start moving, which otherwise I could have done recasted navigation stuff with a nav mesh, and that is actually supplied by the engine. So instead, I've settled on raycasts as the foundation stone of my path generation. I traverse the space step by step using raycasts to try and find the optimal, or a close to optimal way from one location to another. So if I now right-click in this demo project of mine, we have the circle in the middle representing our agent. And then if I right-click, it is going to generate a path. And it looks very messy because I have a lot of debug stuff displayed. It's going to generate a path from our agent towards our goal. And it tries both possible directions to circumnavigate the obstacle. It handles jumping from obstacle to obstacle and from obstacle island to obstacle island. And then finally, it gives me a mostly optimized path here in green, which is the shortest route from my origin point to my goal. And it handles different obstacle arrangements, shapes, sizes. I can change the size of the actor. I can change the size of all the obstacles and the shape of all the obstacles. As long as they are convex polygons, it tends to do the job just fine. There's a few cases where it's still glitching out, but I'm going to solve those by basically running the algorithm again if I leave an island of obstacles, so I can have multiple islands back to back, which is technically already working, but yeah, it gets a little bit confused. And so if I left click, you can see an example of it taking a single path. This is iteration 1. I do 2 iterations of this, where it basically uses raycasts to find the shortest path, collides, tries to find the next logical step along the obstacle. It does a little funky doubling back here, but that's gets taken care of in optimization, and it kind of just follows around the extended shape of the obstacle. And yeah, that's pretty much all I did these last few weeks. Things started out kind of nicely in my thought process, trying to work out the algorithm, and then I very much so descended into madness as more and more bugs crept in, logic errors, math errors, distance comparison didn't like to work. There were some very funny what is it doing moments while I was working the kinks out. In this case, it does a weird loop, which was fun. This is something I encountered earlier today, where it starts to zigzag through a bunch of obstacles. I have no idea what causes it, but it only happened the one time, so I think it's fine. And that was before that was before other bug fixes, so it might not be a thing anymore. And the idea is loosely based on this article on gamedev.net, which comically, as I finished the algorithm, as I finally had a running prototype that I was ready to show, as you can see, the article has vanished off the internet and is no longer to be able to be found. So I cannot show or give credit to the person that I kind of took some of the ideas from, but I had the idea first, I guess, except they did it 2 years ago. But yeah, it's gone, so I'm the original creator now. Hey, I'm on time. Any questions? Yes.
How does this compare to A-Star?
Okay, the question was, how does this compare to A-Star? And my counter question is, in what sense?
Like, is it faster? Or
It is definitely not faster. In this in this example, I am reaching somewhere between 25 to 25 iterations per direction that I'm going through, and that is several dozen raycasts per step of iteration. So we're talking about hundreds of raycasts every time I click and try to generate a path. So it's not performant, but it does agent size and no pre-computing, so that's the trade-off. Yes.
So that is some kind of thick raycast, or do you just not see like little objects on the road?
It's 3 raycasts side by side to represent the agent as if it was a circle.
So
Yes.
you might miss smaller.
You might miss very small objects, but your smallest object should be an agent navigating, never an obstacle. Yes.
So what was your goal with this? Was it as an experiment, or is there a particular, like you're making the game and this is necessary?
I'm making a game and I wanted it to be not grid-based, and I wanted to have agents of different sizes. And so A-Star wasn't suiting my tastes, despite, like, there are implementations of A-Star that work with agent sizes, but then those agents have to be square, and you basically need multiple grids, and you have to recompute the grid. There's solutions that definitely work. I just didn't want to do them. I was very stubborn.
I would suggest you look a little bit at Lumen, whatever, Unreal 5.
Yeah, but not Lumen. Lumen is dynamic lighting, or
Yeah,
maybe
but the technique they use there is pretty nice. It does require some pre-calculation, but it's more about just putting out points and just going like, how far to the closest obstacle, and that way you can make a shit ton of assumptions.
talking
and
about
things.
sign fields.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There are better solutions than this. Absolutely. I'm just happy this one works. Yes.
Honestly, I'm quite impressed with this. Do you have a bigger scene than this as a test thingy?
Not at the moment, but I do promise it does work if I start multiplying these obstacles and create more islands. Like, it does actually do the trick.
Because my second question is sort of, you said it only is good for convex. Are you creating those obviously concave objects just by sticking 3 concave ones together?
Works, TM.
Yeah, it works. I will be fixing that. I know how to fix that. So in the single path example here, it works a little bit better most of the time. It follows each obstacle individually. So there's no batching, there's no combining. There's a lot of logic to make the jump from the first obstacle to the next obstacle to the next one. And it then follows kind of the outline as I expand the polygon.
Looking at this picture, do you plan to also smooth out the path? Because it seems like it's hugging the objects when it doesn't necessarily have to.
Yes, if I generate the full thing, you can see the green line is the optimized path that takes the shortest route through the minimum amount of points.
Did you use GDScript or C#?
This is completely done in GDScript.
Do you have that fucking GIF still? You know what I'm talking about? The one with the spinning thing?
Oh, I know. I can't show it right now.
Yeah?
But yes, there's funny GIFs that have come out of this. So I guess that's that. Sweet.
All right. So now we're here, ready for the next SGDC. My thoughts on this was that maybe we should reduce it to 3 minutes. I'm gonna leave that up to a discussion if people care. So if you're interested in discussing whether or not we should reduce it to 3 minutes, if you're gonna continue being this many, write something in discussion and start something up. Otherwise, that's it for the online.